Dr. Amelia Williams, a woman of logic and reason, stood in the dimly lit laboratory. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of formaldehyde and fear. Shadows danced in the flickering gaslight, playing tricks on her eyes.
Amelia shivered, pulling her lab coat tighter around her. She dismissed the chill as a trick of the old building. Amelia had always scoffed at stories of the supernatural. Ghosts and spirits were for fairy tales, not for a scientist like her. Yet, as she looked around the cluttered lab, a shiver ran down her spine. The lab was old, forgotten, and steeped in a silence that felt almost suffocating. Unease prickled at her skin, a feeling she couldn't shake off.
Amelia walked deeper into the lab, her footsteps echoing in the silence. Papers rustled on a nearby table, disturbed by an unseen breeze. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end. She was alone, yet the lab felt alive, pulsing with an unseen energy. A low hum vibrated through the floor, seemingly emanating from the walls themselves. The air grew colder, a sharp contrast to the stifling heat of moments before. A cold dread settled in her stomach, a feeling that she was not alone, that something watched from the shadows. Amelia shook her head, trying to dispel the growing unease. This was ridiculous, she told herself. There had to be a rational explanation.
A sudden gust of wind swept through the lab, scattering papers across the floor. Amelia gasped, her heart pounding in her chest. The wind seemed to emanate from nowhere, a swirling vortex that vanished as quickly as it appeared. The papers settled on the ground, their silence amplifying the eerie stillness that followed.
Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Amelia's composure. She was no stranger to the unexpected, but this was different. This felt intentional. The lab was no longer just a place of research. It was a stage, and she was caught in its macabre play.
As Amelia gathered the scattered papers, her gaze fell upon a hidden trapdoor beneath the table. It had been concealed by the papers, hidden from view. Curiosity warred with trepidation within her. What secrets did this lab hold? Was this the source of the strange occurrences, or did it lead to something even more unsettling?
Amelia knelt down, her fingers tracing the outline of the trapdoor. It was old. The wood cracked and warped with time. With a deep breath, she summoned her courage and slowly lifted the heavy door. The musty scent of damp earth wafted up from the darkness below, sending a shiver down her spine.
A voice, barely a whisper, echoed from the depths of the newly revealed passage. Amelia froze, her blood turning to ice. The voice was faint, almost indistinguishable, yet it sent a chill down her spine. It spoke of sorrow, of regret, and of a darkness that chilled her to the bone.
"Help me!" the voice pleaded, the sound raspy and weak. Don't let them escape."
Amelia's scientific mind screamed at her to run, to escape the madness that seemed to be engulfing the lab. Yet a strange compulsion, a pull towards the unknown, kept her rooted to the spot. The voice, though filled with despair, held a strange familiarity, a sense of kinship that she couldn't ignore.
Taking a deep breath, Amelia grabbed a nearby lantern and cautiously descended the creaking steps. The air grew colder with each step, the darkness pressing in like a physical weight. As her eyes adjusted to the gloom, she made out the faint outline of a figure huddled in the corner. The figure was translucent, shimmering like heat haze, its features obscured by the darkness. Amelia approached cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. As she drew closer, the figure turned, revealing the sorrowful face of an elderly man. His eyes, filled with a mixture of hope and despair, locked onto hers.
You can see me?" the ghostly figure rasped, his voice a mere echo of its former self. Surprise flickered across his transparent face, quickly replaced by a glimmer of hope. After all this time, someone can finally see me.
Amelia, still reeling from the shock of encountering a being seemingly ripped from the pages of a ghost story, managed a shaky nod. Who are you? She stammered, her voice barely a whisper in the oppressive silence of the hidden chamber.
I am Dr. Jonathan Black, the apparition replied, his voice a mournful sigh. Or rather, I was Dr. Black once. This lab, it was my life's work, my greatest triumph, and my ultimate undoing.
Dr. Black gestured around the chamber with a spectral hand, his touch sending a chill through Amelia, though she felt no physical contact. This place, it's not what it seems. We delved too deep, too greedily into the unknown. We sought to unlock the secrets of life and death, and in doing so, we opened a door that should never have been opened.
Amelia listened intently, her scientific mind struggling to reconcile with the impossible reality before her. A ghost. A real, honest-to-goodness ghost. It seemed preposterous, yet here he was, a shimmering testament to the mysteries that lay beyond the realm of the known. Dr. Black gestured around the chamber with a spectral hand, his touch sending a chill through Amelia, though she felt no physical contact. This place, it's not what it seems. We delved too deep, too greedily into the unknown. We sought to unlock the secrets of life and death, and in doing so, we opened a door that should never have been opened.